All
Hi, Bee.
right, we're back.
Well, welcome back.
We could
Wonderful.
speak we could speak for hours, seriously.
I- Wonderful. Yes, that's very true. Like I always wanted to pick your brain so much,
Yeah,
and now here's this opportunity,
I
and
love that.
the babies
I
are
wanted to,
sleeping. Yes, we were talking about, yeah,
the attention, not paying
giving
attention. Yes.
things for
So
free. Yes.
I have a story actually that I would love to share,
Please
which is
share.
about
Please share.
giving free. So, I really believe in scholarships and helping those people who may not be able to afford, the programs. And I know that, a lot of my
Payment
stuff.
plans. Hmm.
Exactly, or maybe some of my stuff is just a little bit more expensive. And the reason being is because I want to work with a certain caliber of people. But at the same time, I know that when people pay this kind of money, that they have to pay attention. They can't be like, oh yeah, I just paid $10, to this class. I'm just not going to show up.
So
No,
true.
honey, you just paid $1,000. You're going to have to show up.
It's
Like,
so true.
so, but what I did was in my immersions, I have these healing immersions, which I just did for the first time virtually. But it's kind of like a cross between a workshop and a retreat. It's like a
The
really
one you did
deep
last
dive.
weekend? The one you did last
Yes,
weekend? Uh-huh.
exactly. So before, obviously, before COVID, I would do these, and I never forget. I gave this.
Scholarship?
It was a scholarship that I had given to someone. She couldn't make it, so she was like, "Can I give the scholarship to my friend?" And I was like,
Mm.
"Okay, sure." But her
Mm.
friend, when she came to the immersion, first of all, she had no idea who I was, meaning like not me as in
About
B,
your
but
work.
my
Your
work, right?
work.
So she had
Hmm.
no clue what she was coming into. Um, there was a lot of I could feel the tension because
Mm.
what I was saying, and I really get deep and I say certain things that make people sometimes it could trigger, right? It could
Uncomfortable.
trigger a lot of things. So we do, tend to talk about a lot of uncomfortable stuff. So, and it was really, really challenging, and especially her dynamic within the group because she did not pay for the program. And
Mm.
I've had this happen quite a bit that the people often, not all of them, but people that have scholarships, whatnot, is that because they haven't paid that money from themselves, they're just like, oh yeah, whatever, like I'll just do it
Hmm. No,
whenever I
that's happened
want.
to me
Or
in retreats too. Sometimes
yeah,
somebody says, "Can I bring a friend along?" But she doesn't really do yoga, or maybe they love Pilates, or they are going to come, but they don't want to do the yoga. And I'll admit there were times I had to fill up a retreat. I really did, and I accepted that, and it didn't go very well. Like it kind of the group dynamic, it's lost. There's something weird going on there, even if people do this with the best of intentions. It's
yeah,
true.
yeah. So yeah, and that's something that I
But
always
giving
say is
away
that
for free, yes. And this happens
when
so much. Like, again, I don't want to give any names, but there was a major yoga studio here during this COVID time. A lot of the teachers volunteered their time and taught for free online. Fine, it's beautiful, but in some way, it kind of makes me a little sad. Like that, their time is valuable. Those teachers' time is valuable.
it's very valuable. It's very valuable.
Mm,
So I don't, I can understand, but at the same time, they should be
I
paid
understand
just
too.
just as much as,
Yeah.
like because I mean the work of yoga is very
Hmm.
big work, and as yoga teachers, we have a very big
We hold
responsibility.
space. We
We
hold
hold
space,
space.
spiritual space, literal space, virtual space. We have
This is
knowledge, we have
why
experience.
this is why you
Hmm.
need to also break free from the studio. You
So
either
true.
create your own studio. You set up your own
Yeah.
studio and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this myself because maybe I'm
Hmm.
seeing I'm not being represented, or my story is not welcome here, or, my worth is not welcome here. So you know what?
Mm.
I'm going to do it myself. If I
Yeah.
don't have a seat at the table, and we've heard this a lot with, the movement that we've had here in the United States of America, which has affected the whole world, right?
Yes.
Is that if you don't have a seat at the table, then you have to literally make your own seat. And
And fight
people
for
are
it.
afraid to create their own seat.
Yoga
They are
people are
afraid.
too.
Yes, majority of.
Absolutely. First of all,
So,
women. I think there's something about, yeah, we got to be nice, we got to be agreeable, but then women and also the yoga world, the culture that's in the studios. And again, not to say I worked at studios for years and I've met great, wonderful people. I have wonderful
oh yeah,
colleagues
yeah,
in touch with them. But at the very end, yeah, there's something that, the studios have to scale. The rent is very high. I understand, but the teachers seem to be coming last. And this is not to point any fingers to any particular studio. It's just the way it works.
yeah,
So
it is.
we
That's
have
why
to
you have
find.
to work for yourself and create your own programs and create your own
Mhm.
courses and create your own studio and create your own teacher training or your mentoring training, whatever you want to
And
create.
now it's going to go online.
There's, yeah,
Everything's going to be
yeah.
online.
Everything is, yeah, yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, a lot of people, I think, noticed during this time how convenient. Okay, we don't want to have a virus. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but people noticed it was good to slow down, and people, I think, saw, oh, a lot of my work can be done from home. So it's not that we don't want to go out, but maybe we can have this better work-life balance and perhaps work from home more, doing what
Yeah,
we love. And again,
yeah.
we can that can be yoga, teaching it online or courses that are about yoga or the stuff that you're teaching
When
and
I got
go
into the
out.
online world about 5 years ago, people would say, like, how is it even possible to teach online? Like, how can you even, because before the group mentoring program, I was doing the one-on-one. I was using Zoom. I've been using Zoom since like the beginning of Zoom.
And
Before,
when was that? Was that more than 5 years ago?
4 years maybe. First, first my programs were, we did FaceTime. We would do like WhatsApp, all of like way back,
Skype.
sometimes even audio call. Skype was a big thing.
Hmm.
But then when Zoom, first came out, I was, yeah, like straight on it. And so it was really hard to tell. People were always questioning, like, how can you do this online? Or doesn't
Hmm.
it feel weird online? Or taking a practice online? But when you know how to create that energy and that frequency,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter whether you are in person. Of course, we want to be in person. We want to feel, right? But
Yeah,
viscerally, you can, because we're energy, viscerally, you can feel the effects even online. You
it's
can
true.
heal even online. You can create a connection even online. There's so much that is
You can
possible.
reach more
And
people online,
what
right?
happened after COVID? Everyone was panicking. What happened? Every teacher was panicking who did not have an online presence, right? And everyone got a Zoom account and they were trying to figure this out and they got online because of fear. That's what happened.
Mm.
They
You
did
said
not
this
get
the other day.
online because of ease. They weren't like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing because it's the next evolution of my business.
Hmm.
Everyone got online because they needed to pay their rent. They needed to create money,
Which is valid,
right?
of
Of
course. Hmm.
course, yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. But creating money out of fear is very different than creating money out of ease. So
Different
this is what I
energy,
teach in the program.
different
It's
frequency.
completely, yeah,
You do, because I know that my mindset shifted completely after the program, for sure, through the roof, very different. And of course, we have work to do. It doesn't just happen overnight. I'm EFT tapping my way through all of it, and it works. It works really well, though. It really works.
it
Or anything.
does.
Yeah, that's one little technique, and I have a few videos back on that with my wonderful friend. But yeah, we need to change that mind shift, see it differently, and take the leap. And yes, I think not coming from that place of fear, that would be ideal.
Yeah. And
So
and
if.
one thing I also want to say is that, not every single yoga teacher needs to make yoga their business. That's not
Hmm.
like
Also
you,
true.
yeah, like you don't. But to
Hmm.
those people who are wanting yoga as their career, who are looking for
Hmm.
that,
Who need to
finding
pay
those
their bills also.
mentors
Hmm.
and teachers who can really help you and escalate the journey for you, creating this kind of, beginning journey for you is really important. But if you say, you know what, I'm happy with my life, then you don't need to do all of these things, like,
Of course,
so
of
that's
course.
that's that's also okay. You can just enjoy the practice. as a
In
student.
fact, don't we teachers all miss that time when we were practicing yoga and we weren't a teacher yet and we were just in that bliss and we because when you're a teacher, you go to an amazing yoga teacher's class, you're always like, even if you're in the class, you're taking mental notes. Oh, what song was that? I got to find that, playlist. And I love that adjustment that she just, I mean, that it's like this thing that ruins the experience a little bit when you become a teacher. It's wonderful being a practitioner,
Yeah, it
right?
is. But I really love being a teacher. I really,
Mm-hmm.
really, I love it. And
So do
um,
I.
I definitely, look at that beginning for sure. But the beginning is always so precious. I always say to my beginner yogis, enjoy the beginning
Don't forget this
because
feeling. Yes,
when
that's
you
it.
advance, you forget. So here's everything is relative.
Mm-hmm.
We say that we want to achieve this level. Okay, we get there. And then the next level,
There's
we get
always the
there.
next thing. There's
And
always the next thing to achieve.
we forget to look and just be like, oh, wow, like this
Beginner's
is how
mind.
far I've come. Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was one particular moment in the program I had taken a big leap. We were live on Facebook, and you said, "Stop, Sanem, enjoy this right now. Please enjoy it. Remember? Cherish it." Because immediately my mind was, I think, geared to what's next? What's next? Check what's next. But then we're not practicing yoga. We're not present.
Right,
We're
right.
jumping.
And that's why I always say, everyone wants to learn how to run.
Walk
And
before you run.
we have to learn how to take these small steps first. You cannot take your biggest steps until you take your baby steps. It's like literally babies. When
Yeah.
they are starting to walk, like say your babies, do they walk yet? No,
They are walking,
they are
and
walking.
that's exactly what I'm observing. Every day they get better, they fall, and they don't think, oh crap, I fell. They just pick themselves up over and over,
Yeah.
tirelessly.
So it's like a baby, right? When you are a baby and you're learning how to walk,
Hmm.
you don't look around and say, "Oh goodness, like I'm
Look
never
at
going
all
to
these
learn."
adults walking.
Right. You
Yeah.
just keep going. You keep going. But it is vital for them to learn how to walk first before, they can run, before they can, ride a bicycle, feel confident in their muscles. So
Hmm.
everything is you are training yourself. And what tends to happen is when you are new to the practice and you are looking at maybe this person, but you're
Hmm.
looking at their 10 year, right? You're looking at their year 10 and you are in year 1 and you're trying to compare this huge,
Hmm.
difference. That is, that's not going to do anything for your soul, right? And so you have to eliminate that. And the way to do it is first, looking at the steps that you need to take one by one. Some people learn really fast, right? Some babies learn really fast. Some babies
True.
don't. But
It's
they
true.
still grow. They still grow and they still become, a teenager and then an adult. So it's not a run. It's not a competition. We're not doing a competition. And
No.
so that's one thing I always see, and not just, in our group, but previous groups, there is this need to know what else, what else, what else, what else. Um, so that's
That's
definitely
how we grew up,
something
though.
that
And like, I
yeah,
guess, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
In that work culture of what's next, what's next, the business world, the corporate world. That's how
yeah.
people are programmed. It's the programming that we need to sort of decode and rewrite for ourselves, perhaps,
I think
as
also
spiritual. Mm.
with like the system, right? In the system, if we're looking at it from a corporation, and I was,
Mm-hmm.
in corporate America for many, many years, is that you are always, um, going up the ladder. And the higher you are, the more ego there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are a director, you are a CEO, you are a CFO, whatever it
Titles,
is. Titles, you are addicted to the title, to the status, to the money, to the outside. You are addicted. You have an addiction.
the label. Mm-hmm.
You are an addict. That's what you are. And when you say that I am a yogi, but you're still looking at these addictions in a way that's, holding you back, something is not work. Your yoga is not, something doesn't work.
That's not,
Something
that's
doesn't
that
work.
it can be toxic. It is toxic, in fact.
It's
Yeah.
doing a disservice to you're harming yourself. So you need to look first at your labels and your titles and all the things that you look up to or that you're trying to be in. What is that doing for? Because we get into yoga to serve people, to help
Hmm.
people, to educate people, to from our own pain, from our own suffering,
That's it.
to to create a world where you say, you know what, I went through that too, but look at me. Now that I've come out a little bit, I can help you because I've been there. I know it. I feel it. So, and that's what people look for. When
Hmm.
a teacher speaks to you and you're like, oh my goodness, like she's saying what I what I
What
feel.
I'm,
It's like she's talking to me.
my
That's
soul,
that's
she's talking to
that's a
my
great
soul.
teacher.
Exactly. And then when that teacher is humble as well, you know,
Humility for
like
sure.
humility
Humility.
is
Yeah.
huge, but not in a, not in a fake
Yeah.
way, but just in a genuine way when your
Um,
intention is to serve.
That's a great point also, Senem, is, the humility part. And this is what I have. And again, we're jumping from, topic to topic, but I love it, is
Me
that
too.
humility really comes from, where it comes from is you moving away from teaching the yoga or teaching whatever, the mentorship, teaching whatever it is that you're teaching that is all about you. It's not about you.
Hmm.
You are the person who's holding space, but it is never about you. So when people say, I'm really scared to hold space or show up, right? It's because it's all about them. So
Hmm.
when you are in the small self, right? The small self,
The lizard brain also, right? The
the
lizard
lizard brain who's protecting you, right? You want to feel protected.
thinking small. Hmm.
Correct, is that when you are in that state, it will be very hard for you to show up because it's all about you. So you need to get out of your own way to be able to hold that space. Now, if I was to think, if I say this, someone is going to feel irritated, or I am going to trigger someone, or
Mm,
I
mm.
can't.
You can't do your work.
I can't do
Can't do
my
your
work.
work.
I have to be truthful to the yoga. I have to teach what I believe in. I have to teach from my story. I have to do the call outs when it's necessary. I have to do the call ins when necessary because that is the teacher that I am. So if I'm trying to create this image, which from the outside, we're all trying to create this image,
Mm.
it's just not going to work. So
A
first you need to
bubble.
get out of your own way. You need to get out of your own way and you need to align first with what you are doing.
You have to be a good container. You have to, have your own container, be aligned, as you said. Otherwise, you're going to always seek that external validation, your followers, and if someone unfollows you, oh, why didn't they, follow me? And being in that space, being that container. So
It doesn't
having
matter. Who cares who follows each other?
numbers, yes,
Like,
yes.
it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I had this one person that I was following for a little bit, and then I unfollowed her because she wasn't bringing anything to my feed. I wasn't
Hmm.
inspired. And I was like, why am I even following her? So I unfollowed her, and she incredibly messaged me, and she was like, "Why did you unfollow me?" And I was like, "Well,
Maybe she really wanted to know.
because you're not bringing anything to my life. You are not inspiring me. Why do
Mm.
I need to follow you? I can unfollow you, and I can follow you every day, and I can unfollow you every day. It's not. It's this ego. It's this attachment." And she, not like she did anything wrong.
No.
I just wasn't inspired anymore. That's it.
How did she
I
take
want,
it though? Did she think, oh, maybe
I
I'll
want,
improve something? Mm,
maybe, I don't know
mm,
how she thought, but it's quite interesting where we tend to, where we tend to fixate. So
yeah.
in those moments to really check yourself, to look at yourself. So as the teacher, being the mirror, that's all. That's all.
And not taking credit for everything for the teachings. We're just the
No,
channel and we channel it
no,
through. Channel it
correct.
through.
Correct. None of this is my, like the yoga teaching, like I didn't create yoga. I didn't create meditation. I didn't create
Yeah,
these practices. These practices are way before me, but what I create is my own translation. I translate it in a way that not many, I want to be careful with my wording. I translate it in a way that is only unique to my experience. You translate
right.
yoga in a different way. Dorothy translates the yoga in a
Dorothy.
different way.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember the joke from the training, that's why, Dorothy. Yeah. But yes, for sure, for sure. Absolutely.
So
I was
just
gonna,
let it
yeah.
go. Let it go.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just also that letting go practice.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Dorothy. And then there was someone
Yeah.
else, Sally, who also has been through a lot, you said?
Peggy.
Well, Peggy. It was Peggy. It was Peggy and Dorothy.
Yeah. That's our inside joke.
Exactly. But it's, yeah, very important to stay true to yourself. I agree with that 100%. And many people are not. So, but people, I think, get it. They see who's true and who's not, right?
People feel, of course. I mean,
They feel
energy.
it.
We
If it's
all
BS,
feel
they
it.
feel it. Hmm.
Yeah. And I
And the
think
fake
really
stuff only
just
works so far. It can take you only that far, the fake stuff,
you have to
the
go
glitter.
inside.
And as you said, you
You
have to be a good teacher.
you have to know what you're talking about. Um,
Hmm.
and you have to believe in your message so much because when you believe in your message, you start to affect the masses with your message. The
Absolutely.
that passion that you have of teaching yoga, and again, any sort of field of yoga, that passion first, influences your students. They feel that passion. They want
Hmm.
that passion. When you find something in your life that fulfills you, that you can't wait to wake up and do it over and over and over again, that is when you have found your calling. Your calling can change. So, my calling from, the fashion industry, then being a yoga teacher, then moving into this mentorship program, I don't know where else this is going to lead to, but
Who
I know
knows?
that everything that I do is to bring my students back to them. That's all I can do to remember who they are, to remember their possibility in their expansion, their worth, their mindset, all of this. We all have a gift. We all have a
And
gift. And
women
when
need
you,
to hear this support, right? Women, especially. We're so hard on ourselves. And maybe, like you said at the very beginning, we talked about our mothers, and maybe we didn't see that kind of modeling. I don't know. But yeah, some confidence, some boost, sisterhood, women standing up for each other, and teachers also be doing everything to be that for their students.
yeah, and
That's
I think
big. That's
that's why
huge.
community is huge.
Someone's asking how to bring back inspiration and passion in teaching, Marta.
Find a good teacher who has passion for their teaching.
Hmm. Because teachers need inspiration too. This is very true.
Go seek out those teachers who are doing something different that's going to help you come back to that passion and remember why you started yoga.
Well,
Because
if
there's a
I may
lot of,
ask you,
yeah,
who do you go to? Do you go to anyone?
honestly, I, I, I love to, so I work, well, I don't work there anymore, but I used to work, they're closed down right now because of COVID at this
Right,
club called Equinox.
right.
And been with them for 5 years. And so what I love to do is I love to go to different teachers' classes, and there's a few teachers that I will, I'm back. Sorry, my phone was showing
Uh-huh.
my low battery. So I love to. There's definitely, but they, it's not like if I told you their names, you probably wouldn't know them anyway. So
Hmm. Hmm.
it's and I love to be there. I love to be the students sometimes I don't even tell them who, that I work for Equinox or I'm a yoga teacher until maybe like after months and months and months, I will go up to them and say, thank you so much. By the way, I'm Bee. And they'll be like, oh, what? Like, what? And because we're all in this email group, so we all know each other's names, and that's why.
Right, right.
Is that because I don't want to be treated differently. And honestly, like when I go to practice, I'll always be in the back because I'm an observer. That's what I do in my life. I observe.
Of
I'm
course.
an introvert,
You're an
even
introvert, yes.
huge,
People may
huge.
think differently, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Introvert doing an extroverted job.
for sure. So I really
Hmm.
don't like that attention. But from my work, I have to be an extrovert. I have to because remember, it's not about me. If it was about me, I would be so stuck and I could not show myself. But because it's the
This
yoga,
is
I'm
true.
teaching the practice. It's very, very vital for me to show up in that way. So yes, I definitely would, have teachers that I go to and really love their message because we all need that spark. But like I said earlier, life is my teacher. And the
Right.
greatest teachings is from my life, especially my relationship with my partner. That is always teaching me so much.
For
Always,
sure.
that mirror that I look at myself. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like I didn't realize I was doing that. My relationship with my parents, the the expansion that we have created in our relationship, like it touches my soul, and the reason why is because I have changed. I have
You've done the
changed my
work.
I've done the work. They haven't changed. They're still mom and dad, and they still have their own beliefs and their
For sure,
systems,
yes.
but I have changed, and it's the yoga that has helped me to look at my shadows in a really huge way in order for me to be that change. And when I
Not
am
being
that
afraid.
change,
Hmm.
everything changes. And I think that's
Everything
the whole
shifts.
point of evolution. No, it's like we want to change.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some people who are fine where they are. They don't always seek that huge growth, but most of us are here to, yeah, improve. We want to be better. We're here for a reason. And if you believe in reincarnation, if you don't do the work this time, you come back again. So for sure,
Yeah,
it does
in the
change. I've
in the
mm,
next incarnation.
yeah, you'll be tested in other ways if you believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
But for sure, with my family too, I had that. Like my dad is the exact same person. I lost my mother a long time ago when I was 14. So more like a single
Oh,
parent household. Thank you. And it was always a, challenging relationship growing up. But I told him I want to be a yoga teacher. No one knew what that was back then. And today I'm 40 and he sees me for who I am. Our relationship is a whole lot better, also after a lot of therapy.
yeah.
But really, when you change, and you can't change the other person, it may be unfair, it may not be what you want, but if you do the work, then things start to shift for sure, for sure, for sure. So true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bee.
Oh my God, my
I mean,
pleasure.
I could go on, but our phones are running out of battery, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else you want to
Yeah.
add? I'm so happy that you're
Um,
here.
oh, I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so happy you took the program. I'm so happy that you enjoyed Thrive and that you got a lot out of it.
I did. I
I'm so
did.
happy with, the group that we had. You guys are really, every single group is really special. But there was just
I'm
something
sure.
different about you guys that I will always treasure.
Thank
I
you.
think I'd like to just to anyone who's out there, wondering like how to improve in the business side, if they're wondering, how do I even create this big career in my yoga, is just find those mentors who are doing the things that you want to do and
Hmm.
start to study what it is that they're teaching. Um, and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one will
No
believe in
one
you. So
will. If you don't believe
believe
in
in
your message,
yourself.
no one else will. So true. So true.
Believe in your message. Believe in your
And
message.
may I add, just take those little baby steps. Action, action, action. Not thinking and planning and waiting for that day to come, but action
Yeah.
and showing up.
Huge.
It's your term, but I'm using it a lot. Showing up.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's
Show up.
You just have to keep showing up, practice showing up. So again, we talked
Life.
about perfection before, but you have to practice just showing up, showing up, showing up. If you are trying to show it with perfection, you're going to freeze. You just have to
And
own it.
fear of criticism too. Like, what if someone doesn't like it? They write a negative
It's okay.
comment. But yeah, you can't let that stop you. Think of all the people you could
Yeah.
reach. I was definitely holding back. Okay, all these years, I always thought I'm a good teacher, but how come, it's not seen? But if I don't share it, I mean, it may not have to be through Instagram specifically, but to really talk about it. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be in this egotistical way, in a real way. But if you're always, as you say, on the sidelines, waiting for something to change, waiting for someone to see your worth, it doesn't just happen. You have to take action steps
Yeah, exactly.
and you have to
And
do something differently.
and we have this beautiful gift of the World Wide Web that we can connect with so many people. Like in our program, I think what was it, like 12, 13 countries. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
like, wow. So
France, Germany, Turkey, yeah,
befriending,
Canada.
really befriending being online
Yeah.
also. So I think
It's a
that's
very
it.
different world. Yeah. Well, if anybody is interested in the program that I took, Thrive Mentoring Program, there's a link in my bio under Linktree. It's at the very top. And the last day to register for this round, and you don't know when the next round is going to be, is the 26th. Am I right?
Yes, correct. This Friday. Yeah, this Friday is the last
People
day.
could reach it through that link if they're interested. And if anyone wants to ask me about my experience of the course, you can DM me anytime. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the course. You're
You're welcome.
changing lives. You really are. You really, really are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And are you going to say a few words of Turkish? I don't know. Anything at all for our Turkish
Um,
viewers?
Herkese buradan öpücükler. Annem izliyorsa, babam izliyorsa herkese öpücükler. İstanbul'a sevgiler.
Çok
Başka da bir şey.
teşekkürler.
Ben çok teşekkür ederim. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bee.
Thank you,
I'm
Senem.
blown
Thank you.
away. Thank you. Love you.
Love you,
Everyone, I hope
sweetie.
it was useful. Take good care.
Bye.
Have a good afternoon. Bye bye. Okay, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. And like I said, you can reach me in my DM or ask me any questions that you may have. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, Hind. Yeah, thank you. Any questions? Maybe I can take them right now since I'm here. Just want to plug in my phone. Thank you, Elise. Thank you. I have twins. I have a boy and a girl, and this is their playpen in the background. All right, I think, yeah, we're maybe ready to say goodbye. Thanks everyone for joining, and yeah, have a good night. Take care.